For red brass, we're only going to be bringing pretty much one thing. We've got the water pistol selected, but I'm not really going to use that much. Stun arm. The top tier stun arm, which is relatively cheap, considering it's only a grade 4 and there's no online improvements for it, and there's a reason for that. But it is relatively inexpensive as long as we don't bring anything else, and it will be very important. So the first thing we do is we're just not far from the village where everybody's going to be meeting, so we'll just ride over there. I'm a little unused to these earlier missions because in the earlier missions the amount of guards that are actually present is way lower than I expected. I'm used to things like later missions or free roam, side ops, that sort of thing, where enemy density is huge. Like Daviala Collet, where we're going, in the first mission and in this mission, there are maybe like, I don't know, half a dozen guards or something. The only thing that's interesting about this one is that some of them are on rooftops, although that guy has a sniper rifle, and I'm looking for the other two guys that are on the rooftops. That guy has a sniper rifle, but he has terrible vision. I think it's because he's not actually in active sniping mode, because enemy snipers have very good vision. It's remarkably long. They can see you for like over 100 meters. And if you don't crawl, they will eventually alert on you very quickly. But that guy, he doesn't see anything. So I think it's because he's either not a sniper or the game assigned him a sniper rifle and he's not using it, or he's just not actively looking down the scope. Anyway, because of that, there's almost nobody on this side of the village at all. There's pretty much only guys near the meeting point, and everywhere else I was kind of surprised to find that there's not really anyone. Normally there's a couple of guards over here on this perimeter, like right around here. There would be one, plus some off to the left. There'd be somebody probably around the courtyard area, but nope, just around the meeting area pretty much. So the guys on the rooftops are a concern because it is daytime, so it's a little harder to move around, because guards do have pretty excellent up and down vision. They're not stupid. They're not like a Dishonored 1 guard where if you're slightly above them, they can't see you at all. They will notice you, especially with light. Fortunately, they won't notice us enough, and we don't need to get too far. We just need to get across this courtyard here. The meeting building is right over there. It's between the two buildings that I'm crawling in front of now. That guy on the left is guarding one of the doors, and the guy that you can see through the Noctis Cyanin is the commander for this particular village. The other two commanders have not arrived yet. I tried not to get that guy's attention, because getting his attention will move him downstairs for some reason. I guess because he's in heavy armor, he doesn't like to climb ladders or something, so he'll end up roughly where I am now after he tries to go back, but I'll just wait for him. Now I'm going to speed things up a bit, just because there's going to be quite a bit of waiting. I'm just going to wait for all of the commanders to arrive in this village, which doesn't take that long, just a couple of minutes. They're on their way in by jeep from the start. I'm trying to just mark the commander here, but he's inside, so not worth it. Anyway, we'll just chill here for a bit while we await the arrival of the other guards. Somehow no one noticed me breaking that pot with my foot, thankfully. Because those do make noise, and things like pots and doors and things like that, or bumping into oil cans or whatever, those can make noise. But see, the heavy guard didn't go back upstairs, so I don't know why that is. But now that all of the commanders are in the vicinity, there we go. The top tier stun arm has an area of effect when it's charged up fully. Everything within 40 meters will be stunned for a couple of minutes. It's incredibly useful, especially if you do what I do and put yourself in the position where you will be 40 meters or less from as many enemies as possible. If that guy in the heavy armor hadn't stayed downstairs, I could have been on the other side of that building and gotten that guy on top of the roof. Though, as it turns out, one of the commander's guards was way out of the way anyway, so I would have had to take him out regardless. But we'll just come over here and hold this guy up. and then we'll hold up the sniper, and if I'm correct, that should be the entire outpost. Let's find out for ourselves.
Where are your friends? Lie down.
Now, I am being a little overly cautious with this guy. Based on where he's facing, I could probably have been crouch walking, because I see that sniper rifle and I'm thinking, that guy's a sniper, so he has good vision, but this guy's an idiot, and he doesn't actually have good vision at all. So we will just climb up here. Now, I don't want to dive or get down, because I could make noise adjusting position somehow on uneven surfaces, so I will hold the button to crawl. This is much easier with a controller, because on a controller you have analog, and you can move slower in a more graduated way, but we can't do that here. So, he refused to be held up, so I had to CQC him. He fell off the top there. He would have been stunned from falling off the top, but he was already also stunned from being punched, so no big deal there. Now I can interrogate some people just to get everybody marked, just so that I'm aware of them. But in the end, it's probably better if we just complete the objectives and get out of here. So there's the third commander. He didn't quite make it to the meeting because I popped off the stun arm a little early. And conveniently, they've left us a jeep. 2 of them, actually, the ones that they arrived in. So all we gotta do now is locate the other 2 commanders, who should be in the meeting spot. I just walked over them. Not sure why I didn't notice them there. So instead I end up interrogating the guy, even though literally the only place they could possibly be if they're not on alert is in the meeting building. Like, that is where they go, and they don't leave until the meeting is over, so who knows.
Analysis complete.
That was dumb on my part. There they are! Anyway, we'll just put them in the jeep. We have nothing to worry about because we know that the outpost was captured, which means that there are no NPCs within its radius. If there had been an extra guard, like a perimeter guard or something like that, we would not have captured the entire outpost when we knocked that other guy out. So we can pretty much be as conspicuous as we like, as noisy as we like, until everybody wakes up, which shouldn't happen before the mission is done. It's a pretty long stun from the level 3 stun arm. But even if they do wake up, all they can do is put out a caution, and we will be out of here. Now, I'm looking for a route. I end up going north. It's a little longer, so I am going to speed that up. However, it only has to dodge 1 outpost, and it skirts the west end of the Loxin barracks, which no one should be looking. So, we should be good once we're out there. Just avoiding sheep. I don't think it matters if you kill animals, but try to avoid that. Now, if you're on D-Horse and you run into an animal, I think it only knocks them out. Whereas a car at high enough speed will kill an animal if it runs into them. Same thing with a person. I don't think D-Horse can kill people. You can knock them out, though. We also steal the Jeep, because if you exfiltrate by land while driving an enemy vehicle, it gets essentially captured as well. And you start in free run with it, painted in Diamond Dog's colors somehow.
There is why you're the best, boss. The one and only.